I understand you're currently a pharmacist, right? But I would also like to know the kind of things that you've done, the kind of jobs that you have before becoming a pharmacist.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to thank you so much for allowing me onto your platform. As I typically say to people, my name is Dr. Oye Owolewa. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a former commissioner in my home ward of Ward 8 and the current U.S. Representative of Washington, D.C., as well as a candidate for council at large. But that's kind of what I'm doing. That's not who I am. Who I am, I'm a child of, as you said, Nigerian immigrant parents that came here in the 1970s right after the 1964 Civil Rights Act, not far after the Brown versus Board of Education and beyond, and they were able to come to America, and that's where they met. They stayed in the United States, decided to raise a family here because they knew if they worked hard, they could live with dignity. If their kids worked hard, the kids can live with dignity. So they had a five child family, and I was fourth out of five. And soon after, my parents pushed me to become a scientist, introduced that to me at a very young age, and I ended up becoming a pharmacist. After a few years in pharmacy school, I realized I was the only black male in a 150 person class. And originally I thought it was just racism and inequality, but what I realized the biggest difference between those who got into the pharmacy school and not was early career exposure, right? People who want to be engineers, people who wanted to be doctors, people who want to be pharmacists seem to align into that track versus looking into it in the near future. So I graduated my PharmD degree, my doctor of pharmacy, moved to Washington, D.C., and I started volunteering in classrooms, getting kids interested in science careers. So I was still a pharmacist until one day, one of my patients said, go to a community meeting and get more involved. Went to the community meeting, didn't really like how it was run, and I made my
Hmm.
unhappiness shown. And somebody said, hey, this is so much better. Why don't you run? So I took all fear pushed to the side, ran for office, won by one single vote, and here I am now. So I've been a pharmacist working from um, Rite Aid to Walgreens, from Safeway now to Giant, and now taking time off to run for at-large council. So those were the jobs. More importantly, those are the experiences that got me into the type of public service I'm in now.
Good.